From Lagos, Nigeria, this is News Central. I'm Felicity Ezewike. The top stories tonight. Leadership tussle continues in the Lagos Assembly as ousted Speaker Mudashiru Obasa storms complex, insisting he remains in charge. Nnamdi Kanu seeks intervention of Chief Justice of Nigeria, Kekere-Ekun, to reassign his case after recusal of Justice Binta Nyako. U.S. President Donald Trump hosts UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer as they seek end to ongoing war in Ukraine.
And in business, Nigeria eyes $7.7 trillion global halal economy with new Saudi Arabia pact.
In sport, men's singles champion Aruna Quadri dethroned as Egyptian rival Omar Assad wins 2025 IDTF Africa Cup.
Details of all these stories and more shortly. Thank you for joining us. We begin tonight in Lagos State, where in a dramatic turn of events, ousted Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Mudashiru Obasa, returned to the Assembly on Thursday for the first time since he was removed by his colleagues, insisting that he remains the legitimate Speaker. Obasa, who was removed as the Speaker of the Lagos Assembly on January 13 over allegations of financial impropriety and gross misconduct, arrived at the Assembly complex around noon, accompanied by heavily armed security personnel. My colleague Bettina Ueli has more.
The entrance of the Lagos State House of Assembly looks like a carnival as supporters of the ousted Speaker, Mudashiru Obasa, celebrate his return. Speaking with News Central's correspondent, Obasa's supporters say he was unlawfully removed and should be reinstated.
What's happening here today is not a big deal. It's what we call political moral support. You will know that it's been like 2 months now. The Speaker was removed on the 13th of January, and since that time, he has not set his foot on this place. So this is the first time he's coming here. So we got wind of it, and we came here to support him.
I love what is going on here today. We are outside here. We don't know what is going on in there, but I can hear outside that Obasa will be sitting back as a Lagos State Speaker of Lagos Assembly. So I love that.
This unexpected move has plunged the Assembly into confusion, especially following the reported withdrawal of security details assigned to the current Speaker, Mojisola Meranda. The situation remains tense as both Obasa and Meranda claim the speakership. As at the time of filing this report, the Assembly is yet to release an official statement regarding the unfolding of events.
We won't take laws into our hands, just like I told the staffs that they should not take laws into their hands. But we all belong to different constituencies, and we have our mandate. And whatever has to happen, the leadership should speak with us, and not this charade that we are seeing. We are not against the leadership's decision, but they should call us and tell us to our face, and not us hearing rumors. We are not against leadership decisions. It is the leadership. They took us here. They are our leaders, and we still stand. They nominated us, and we still stand with their decisions. But not to do it this way. We were embarrassed. So thank you, gentlemen.
We hereby reject Obasa. We reject.
As you rightly said, I'm here. So as I'm here, it simply means the house is on.
Well, sir, on social media, we have it information flowing that you barged into this premises.
Confirm it now. If you had, you should.
We were trying to confirm from you. Can you tell us exactly?
So what are you implying? Are you saying that I broke it, or I broke the door to get access. Is that what you are saying?
I don't know.
So I go and confirm now. If you have had, then confirm from your source. He will do what?
Yeah.
Allege. Will do what? Will prove.
So have you been reinstated? Are you back now?
I've told you repeatedly, I've never been removed. There's nothing like impeachment. So I don't know what you are saying. I've said this openly.
Sir.
That everybody, you know, remove, what is it called? Impeachment or whatever, or removing is all democratic and constitutional. But in doing that, to achieve that, you must follow the due process.
Observers anticipate that the coming days will be crucial in determining the leadership and direction of the Lagos State House of Assembly. In Lagos, for News Central, I am Bettina Nwili.
Still on the Lagos State House of Assembly drama, the Commissioner of Police, Moshood Jimoh, has confirmed that the security detail which was withdrawn from the Speaker of the State House of Assembly has been returned to her. This, according to the CP, was part of an ongoing audit of police personnel assigned to individuals across the country. While speaking to journalists, the commissioner also explained why the ousted speaker, Mudashiru Obasa, currently has security details attached to him. The CP went further to assure Lagosians that the police had nothing to do with the drama witnessed at the State House of Assembly, stating that all is now calm.
As we speak, as I speak with you, the audit of the police personnel attached to Honorable Mojisola Merida has been completed, and the 4 armed police personnel attached to her from the Lagos State Police Command have been returned back to her for her protection. There was application from Honorable Mudashiru Obasa on threat to his life and that of his family in the last few days, and it was on the basis of that police personnel were approved to him for that purpose only. The Lagos State Police Command is not aware or in the know of how and when the office of the Speaker of Lagos State, Speaker of Lagos State House of Assembly was broken into. The Lagos State Police Command is neutral in the whole episode and will continue to do so to ensure law and order and public safety and security throughout the length and breadth of Lagos State.
I'm now joined by a legal practitioner, Malakai Womado, to speak to us about the legal implications of the persistent power tussle at the Lagos State House of Assembly. Also joining in is News Central lead correspondent, Bernard Akede, who was on the ground while events unfolded. Good to have you both tonight. Let me start with my colleague in the studio, because you were the last person at the scene today. Did it seem like something was off with the explanation? Were there comments from the CP, the comments from the CP? Did it seem like something was off with the explanation as to why the details were removed?
Of course, Felicity, I think it definitely did seem like something was off from everybody and anybody who saw and who heard from the CP. First of all, he was stating that this whole thing was part of, an exercise to what's the word one can use now? Basically, an exercise to maybe sanitize, if you want to use that kind of word, the police detail that have been sent out to different persons, VIPs, people, groups, generally, to call them back, first of all, to audit. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. It was an audit, he called it, of police officers who have been detailed to certain persons.
Did you happen to question him about the timing of that audit?
I mean, of course, it looked very, I would say it looked very convenient to say that this is now an audit. At this particular time, when all this drama is going on, we hear that Miranda's security detail have been withdrawn withdrawn from her, and the CP says they were withdrawn because there is a general audit going on around the country. So they've been withdrawn. This is to audit the security personnel that are going around with people, audit their equipment, their gadgets, their gear, their uniform, their performance, to also audit whether or not due process was followed before they were given to those particular people. As for Miranda now, the audit has been completed in such short time, and the security details have been returned to her. And then going further, as for Obasa, still within this same particular frame or time frame, is when he also reached out to say he has received threats to his life and his family, and so he has requested security personnel. And the CP says any well-meaning Nigerian who is law-abiding, as a matter of fact, Felicity, you yourself can request security operatives to follow you if you feel that your life or your family's life is being threatened. And after investigation, if it's proven that that is true, you can have some security detail following your very beautiful vehicle.
Baraki, let me come to you. I mean, you heard my colleague's explanation as to, the announcement made by the CP, why security details were withdrawn. I want you to speak to that, but I also want you to speak to the question of an explanation for what everybody is describing as an embarrassment, not just for the Lagos State House of Assembly, but for the state government as to what happened today at the House. Do you perhaps have an explanation?
Well, to extract or expect that I can give an explanation will be approximating me as a principal participant in the whole saga. I am not. I wish not to be one. However, as a keen observer of political development and trajectory in our country, Lagos State not an exception. I can speak to the very embarrassing situation of things, almost deflecting, if you like, undermining the high standard of practice and political engagement in the city of excellence or state of excellence, as we proudly proclaim ourselves. Now, that is putting it mildly. To put it bluntly is to say that if it is not properly managed, there are every tendency that this could result to some breakdown of law and order. Because where you now have two persons laying claim to the speakership of the State House of Assembly, and they are both able to access the hallowed chambers of the State House of Assembly, not just alone, but with their supporters, this is likely going to be a situation, particularly in the circumstances that all of these have evolved, and given the backgrounds and undercurrent waters that are passed under the bridge. So here is the point. With what has played out now, it does appear that there is a serious crack in the political cohesion of APC in Lagos State, but more importantly, in the leadership structure of that party. Otherwise, the numerous moves and interventions already made was sufficient to arrest the situation and bring it to some level of stability. But each day comes and we see the principal actors beginning, so much so that the speaker who has been, removed could come back to the same State House of Assembly and lay claim to the same seat with a corresponding assemblage of members who took that action, rectified it, reaffirmed it, insisting that he's not the speaker. What
okay,
is left
but last I checked, Last I checked, Obasa is already in court and has applied for accelerated hearing of his case. Has there perhaps been a ruling that we are unaware of that it might give some legitimacy to his presence at the assembly today? Is there any legal explanation that can, you know, maybe explain today's fiasco?
Now, once you, as a lawyer, speaking as a lawyer now, once you, and I'm glad that, at least I heard him this evening say that he's a lawyer himself, even if he's not practicing. Once you submit to the jurisdiction of the court, you are expected to stay every other action and allow the due process of the law to play out fully. And therefore, if it is the fact that he's already in court, and I have no reason to doubt that, particularly with respect to the subject matter of removal, which I understand he is challenging, shall the cross of his resentment, the trust of his objection to what has happened, is simply that the members of the State House of Assembly reserve the right to remove any speaker in compliance with the Constitution, which is section 92, subsection 2C, and according to dictates of their rules, the rules of the House. So if that is the case, and you see grounds to challenge what they have done, and you have taken the most civilized action, which is to contest that in the court of the law, one would have expected that, considering his standing as a very long member of the State House of Assembly, who I understand has been there since 2003,
okay,
up to 2015, and then became a speaker for quite a while now.
All right,
he don't allow the status quo to remain.
Now, I will come back to you in a bit. I'll come back to you in a bit, but let me come back to you, Bernard. The whole drama, what was the conversation among your peers while you were covering today's event, from what happened at the assembly to the presser by the CP?
In Gen Z language, I would just say everybody was saying a day has been had. It's not every day as a journalist you get to see activities like this, like what happened today. From the drama, I do call it drama, I could also call it a jamboree that we saw in front of the Lagos House of Assembly, up until almost immediately after that is when we got the message that there will be a press briefing by the CP to address why security details were taken away from Miranda and then eventually given back to her, and why they would take and why they were also given to Mudashiru Obasa. Just like you clearly stated, it seemed very convenient to make this statement around this time. Why around this time is the question. Now, this is the time where you state that there is an audit going on of security personnel giving to VIPs to audit the equipment that they have, to audit whether or not these people made the proper requisition or request for these security detail, and that is why Miranda's own detail were taken away. And then after the audit was concluded, around this same time is when she was given back. Still around the same time is when Mudashiru Obasa requested for security detail because of,
even to a child, there's something
there clearly
not clear,
there's
not right about the explanation. But it still worries me. I'm sure it worries a lot of Nigerians when these explanations are given. Take it or leave it. That is how it is. I will go back to Malaki and ask, not to dwell on hearsay, but there is a crisis in the state with the State House of Assembly. It is worth mentioning that mediation has been ongoing. Some media outlets have reported it, so it's not really hearsay. And we also hear that some sort of agreement is in the offing. Do you know anything about that? With what has happened today also, are there any chances that mediation will work to resolve this crisis?
As a trained lawyer, I'm not given to speculations. I was not in the meeting, neither was I a party to the mediation if it ever occurred. So we deal with facts. And I align myself with the reasoning of your colleague there. It is far-fetched to begin to, characterize what happened today as some form of auditing in the police operational details. What we are tempted to believe is that so much intrigues are on at the moment. The rumor mill is also awash with the permutations and the balancing of political forces, if you like, the interface of political forces in Lagos State. So much so that there's some measure of pressure, almost enough to reverse what has happened. And if you juxtapose this with the position of members of the State House of Assembly, it appears to me that what they are actually saying, I'm talking about those you showed on your screen a while ago, what they seem to be saying is that, look, we appreciate that we have managed as a state and as a political family to regulate and moderate our activities through recognized leadership structures in the political party. We recognize that. We know them. They constitute...
A lot of politics definitely is going on.
Can I land on this point, please?
Okay, quickly, please.
We recognize them. However, we are elected members of the State House of Assembly, representing constituencies within the states. And to that extent, we have exercised what we have as constitutional rights under Section 92, Section 2C, in removing one of us, that is Mudashiru Obasa. So it will be inconceivable and politically inappropriate to have a further imposition from anywhere other than the State House of Assembly.
Malaki, it's obvious that inappropriate is not enough deterrent as it is, because what is happening to a sane person doesn't, the explanation being given doesn't make any sense at all. But we guess we'll see what happens in the coming days. We hope that some resolution will be found. Thank you for speaking with us.
Thank you for the opportunity.
And of course, Bennett, thank you for the coverage. I know it's been a long day.
It has been a long day. Thank you very much for having me.
It's our pleasure. Coming up, 2 police officers attached to the Plateau State Police Command killed after foiled kidnap attempt. We will bring you this and more after the break. Stay with us. The detained leader of the proscribed Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, has petitioned the Chief Justice of Nigeria, CJN, Justice Kudirat Kekere-Ekun, urging him to direct the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court, Justice John Soho, to reassign his case to another judge with proper jurisdiction. In a letter to the CJN, Kanu's legal team, led by Aloy Ejimakor, argued that Justice Binta Nyako, who is currently presiding over the case, had already recused herself following Kanu's allegations of bias. Kanu is facing 7 counts of terrorism-related charges brought against him by the federal government. Ejimakor argued that legal principles dictate that once a judge recuses themselves, they are disqualified from further involvement in the case. He urged the CJN administrative intervention to ensure that the case is reassigned. In another development, 2 police officers attached to the Plateau State Police Command were reportedly killed following a foiled kidnap attempt in the state. Correspondent Chizoba Anyowe reports that the Plateau State Police Public Relations Officer, Alfred Alabo, said the incident occurred in Little Rayfield area of Jos after a tip-off of their constitutional responsibility, ensuring the safety of both lives and property in the state. Alabo added that while 4 suspects have been arrested in connection with the incident, efforts are ongoing to ensure that the rifle carted away by the assailing kidnapped suspects are recovered.
Our personnel got wind of certain kidnap attempt along Little Refit area and took the right step of trying to forestall that attack and, if possible, arrest the suspect. During the process, the assailant got wind of the fact that the men who were coming are policemen trying to stop their vehicle, and they attacked. A gunfire ensued, and as a result, we lost 2 of our men, and a rifle was carted away in the process. No criminal have a superior training more than us, but you also see that our officers, they did gallantly by showing that they will go at all lengths, even though it has to cost them their life sometimes to protect Nigerians, and that was what happened.
Non-governmental organizations have called for the need to address the near absence of financial services for women engaged in small-scale businesses across many parts of Nigeria. This was made known at a loyalty client reward recently held in Lagos by Grooming Center to empower dedicated and hardworking business women across the country. News Center's Omolola Ololade has more in this report.
The need for financial inclusion for women empowerment is crucial to the economic development of women and the society at large. It is on this premise that the non-governmental organization Grooming Center, at its client loyalty event, recognized women who are committed to their business while rewarding them for their dedication and participation in market associations for the past 10 years.
Not just that we are providing financial support for them, but we are trying to make them know that they can do whatever they want to do, the kind of business they are doing, and we are going to support them in the business they are doing. That is just what we want them to know. And for that, we will give them the loyalty that they've been, and we're giving them the gift, which is freezer, for them to be able to take care of what they are doing.
They have showed support to our vision. They've been giving us this support through suggestions. They ask questions. They tell us what we are doing and where they want us to do more. In fact, they guide us. In fact, they are just our pillars. They help the organization to continue to move. So they have actually showed that commitment that yes, the financial inclusion and empowerment the center is giving to them is actually worth having.
This year's edition of the Client Loyalty Reward saw the Grooming Center distributed about 3,500 refrigerators across the NGO's 6 program areas in Lagos, Abuja, Abia, Edo, Ogun, and Oyo State. Some of the beneficiaries of the Loyalty Reward, in their excitement, applauded the organizers for the laudable initiative while commending them for their support toward their businesses.
We thank him because he has really changed our life, my life, the life of my children, the life of my community as a whole. Very, very happy because I know now, being a loyal member of Grooming, there is a reward.
I've been excited since I heard I'm qualified to get it. I've been expecting it for the last 10 years, you know. Counting my years, they made it easy in the sense that you don't have to go and get collateral, you don't have to do a lot of things, you know. Once you have a guarantor, you are good to go.
Promoting financial inclusion and empowerment for women remains a crucial one for the development of every nation, hence the creation of more NGOs such as the Grooming Center to achieve this purpose. In Lagos for News Central, Omolola Ololade.
Many thanks, Omolola. The Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, as an intervention agency, has over the years filled in the gap in ensuring provision of good road networks, among other services, for hard-to-reach communities in the Niger Delta region. As part of its commitment in service delivery in line with President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda, the agency recently delivered a 7.5-kilometer road network to 5 communities in Rivers State. Our correspondent, Biola Festus, was at the commissioning.
Umuosi, Obiakpo, Ngboji, and Ndoki communities, all in Oyigbo local government area of Rivers State, are a few among several Niger Delta communities without access roads. In February 2024, the Niger Delta Development Commission (NDDC) awarded a 7.3-kilometer long road linking the 5 communities to the state's capital and their neighboring states of Abia and Akwa Ibom.
For us, it is a time for accountability, to tell the people of the Niger Delta that Mr. President did not just appoint us to just be sitting down in our head office without doing anything, but we were actually warned by Mr. President not to start any project and abandon it. As an interventionist agency, we are rather playing a complementary role to what the state governments are doing. And we look forward to more partnership with state governments across the region.
So we will continue to do our best. The 7th Governing Board and management of NDDC has done very well.
Residents and commuters recount their experiences some 5 years ago when the road was impassable and commended the intervention agency for bringing them succor.
From our farm to down here, some people they correct 1.5, but for now, we dey pity them because they correct 1,000 for now.
By that time, before customer will cross Potopotoko enter shop, no be small matter. Some people will be say, I can't enter, how can I cross? But at the end of the day, we are happy. At least we have free movement.
In times past, delayed passage of budgets impeded project executions by the NDDC. However, Chairman Senate Committee on NDDC, Senator Asukwo Ekpeyong, and the Minister of Regional Development, Engineer Abubakar Momo, assured the NDDC board and management of adequate support from the Senate and the Presidency.
I have the leave of the President of the Senate to assure the board management and staff of the NDDC that we will continue to effectively and efficiently appropriate resources for you to achieve this mandate and this vision.
For me, as a person and as the minister supervising NDDC, I can say that I feel very much fulfilled. For me, I believe that NDDC and Niger Delta must be allowed to work a situation where people want to create confusion, such that the board of NDDC could be dissolved and then get new people on board who will, of course, start to chart a new course. It's not the best interest of the people of Niger Delta.
Road infrastructure is a necessity for development. Major stakeholders in Oyigbo local government area are pleased with the current board and management of the NDDC for their development strides in their domain.
The current board and management of NDDC, they've actually turned around the fortunes of the place. Although, of course, you know, before now, NDDC was actually noted for poor performance. But I can tell you the new board and management, they've actually changed the situation.
By this intervention, our people are elevated. We say thank you to NDDC.
In Oyigbo, Rivers State, for News Central, Biola Festus.
British Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer is in the White House for crunch talks with Donald Trump on Ukraine trade and technology. The Prime Minister will push a reluctant Trump to provide a U.S. backstop, possibly including fighter jets providing air cover to prevent Vladimir Putin launching a fresh assault on Ukraine after any peace deal. The U.S. President said he would not provide security guarantees beyond very much, insisting it was for Europeans to protect Ukraine. Sir Keir is prepared to commit British troops to a peacekeeping mission, but believes that U.S. promises are vital to deter Putin from coming again. Business news is next after this short break. Can I say something? Can I? Joanne?
Yeah?
I could just talk about what's this halal development product. Can you run with that?
Okay.
Okay. You know how to switch in now, that we need another break.
Yeah. Is my headline even there? No banter. Okay.
Joanne joins me now for some business update. Nigeria are in partnership with Saudi Arabia. What's this about halal?
I mean, indeed, the race is on for that $1 trillion economy by 2030. So we'll see how that goes, trying to make those strategic partnerships. More on this, of course, on Business Tonight after this break.
Business news in association with Money Master PSB, the easy way to master your money.
Nigeria has signed a cooperation agreement with Saudi Arabia's Halal Products Development Company to position itself as a key player in the $7.7 trillion global halal market. The deal signed at the Makkah Halal Forum was described by Vice President Kashim Shettima's representative as a transformative step for Nigeria's economy. Presidential aide Aliyu Sharif highlighted the partnership's alignment with Nigeria's expanding Islamic finance sector, which includes Sukuk bonds and Islamic banks like Jaiz Bank, Taj Bank, and Lotus. A group of former African leaders have warned that mounting external debt burdens are crippling the world's poorest countries. At the G20 meeting, the group called for a new relief program for private, bilateral, and multilateral creditors. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa said he will leverage his G20 presidency to push for debt relief and fairer global finance structures. However, challenges persist, especially amid the U.S. administration's foreign aid cuts. Ex-Nigerian President Olusegun Obasanjo stressed that debt is stifling essential development in education, health, and nutrition. And the stock markets couldn't maintain the bullish run from yesterday, with the banking stocks bleeding all over the NGX. The market is down today 0.11%. All share index is at 107,655.46. And the market capitalization, we lost about 77 billion on the market today. We're now down to 67.10 trillion naira. Coming to sectoral performances, the banks are championing the losers list, at least that sector in particular. 0.75% down today. Insurance as well down. Surprisingly, oil and gas, Owando is rebounding. Of course, they led the advances chart, and that's driving the oil and gas sector. Consumer goods is down 0.17%, and industrial goods down as well 0.43%. That is it for the Business Tonight. I am Joanna Mustafa. Tonight continues with Felicity.
Business news in association with Money Master PSB, the easy way to master your money.
I have a favor here for sports stories. Aruna losing out. What does that mean at the Tennis Cup?
Yeah, it was a sad one indeed for Aruna Quadri, who lost the final in the ITTF Africa Cup in Tunis against Omar Assar. Many more and after this timeout.
Sports Update, brought to you by Corn Oil. Corn Oil, we go the extra mile.
Egypt's Omar Assad emerged victorious at the 2025 ITTF African Cup in Tunis, defeating Nigeria's defending champion Haruna Quadri in trailing 7-set final. Both men battled to 3 games apiece before Assad won the 7th and final game to edge past Quadri 4-3 and reclaim the men's singles title. Assad had pulled out of the 2024 edition in Rwanda due to injury and could not defend his 2023 title. In the women's final, Egypt's Anna Goda produced a stunning comeback to defeat compatriot and 2014 African Cup champion Dina Meshref in 6 games. After losing the first 2 games, 9-11, 5-11, the young Olympian showed remarkable resilience, winning the next 4 to clinch the title 4-2. With this victory, Goda reaffirmed her status as one of Africa's brightest table tennis stars, while Assad continues his dominance on the continental stage. All 4 semi-finalists in the men's and women's singles have qualified for the ITTF World Cup scheduled for April in Macau. Away from table tennis now to football, the Nigerian Premier Football League NPFL fixture between Rivers United and Katsina United at the Adokie and Mesimaka Stadium was abandoned due to heavy rainfall. Before the game was halted, Rivers United had taken the lead in the 17th minute through Ubong Friday. However, torrential rain downpour made play impossible, forcing officials to call up the match. The match will resume on Friday 28 at 9 a.m. Nigerian time. Meanwhile, in Benin City, Bendel Insurance edged Ikorodu City 2-1. Stanley Okorum fired the Benin Arsenal ahead in the 51st minute, but just 3 minutes later, Shola Adelani equalized for the Oga Boys with a stunning free kick. Uche Collins popped up with a calm finish in the 61st minute to secure the win for the hosts and fire them up to 8th place on the league table. Still talking football, the Court of Arbitration for Sport CAS has ruled in favor of the Algerian Football Federation, overturning a decision that allowed Moroccan club RS Berkane to wear a kit featuring an extended map of Morocco, including the disputed Western Sahara region. The Confederation of African Football CAF had initially approved the design for continental competitions, sparking controversy in Algeria. The dispute led to the cancellation of both legs of last season's CAF Confederation Cup semi-final between Berkane and USM Alger. CAF later awarded Berkane 3-0 victory in both matches. CAS has now ruled that the kit violates CAF and FIFA regulations, annulling CAF's previous decision. USM Alger welcomed the verdict as a victory for sports justice. And now to tennis. Nnamdi Kanu has decided to play at the upcoming WTA tournament in India Wells following a recent stalking ordeal. Now, the 22-year-old Briton had been deliberating whether to travel to the United States for the hardcourt event, which starts next week. The former U.S. Open champion was shaken after a man exhibited fixated behavior towards her at last week's Dubai Tennis Championships. The man was later detained and later given a restraining order, Dubai police said. Nnamdi Kanu was visibly upset after seeing the man in the stands during a second-round match last week. The BNP Paribas Open in India Wells, California, is one of the biggest tournaments of the season outside of the 4 Grand Slams, and it begins on the 5th of March. And now to boxing. TKO Group Holdings, which owns the UFC and WWE, says it is close to an agreement to form a new boxing league funded by Saudi Arabia. It has been reported Saudi Arabian investors are keen to form a league after investing significantly to regularly host heavyweight fights, including Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, and Alexander Usyk in the kingdom. The UFC and WWE hold events in Saudi Arabia, but it's unclear what the league would look like and who could compete. Saudi Arabia has spent about £5 billion in sports since 2021, saying the investment is being used to diversify the economy away from a dependency on oil. Saudi's influence over boxing has increased significantly, with many of boxing's biggest events taking place in the kingdom. The country has been accused of using sports as an image laundering tool. And that wraps it up on Sports Tonight. I'm Favor Itwa. The news continues.
Sports Update, brought to you by Corn Oil. Corn Oil, we go the extra mile.
Hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me? They said, I believe they can hear.
There was here with entertainment stories. Naira Marley is speaking.
Yes. Yes, well, he's finally spoken. This is after the court has, dismissed him of every charge relating to the death of Mohbad. He's come out to express himself and really talked about how some people let him down. But I'm going to be giving you all the details shortly.
Entertainment news in association with Glow Unlimited.
All right, now let's go straight into the entertainment conversations. Now, Naira Marley, as the artist, has broken his silence following a Yaba Magistrate Court ruling that cleared him and others of involvement in Mohbad's death. In a statement on X, he expressed frustration over the backlash he faced, revealing that he and Mohbad had reconciled before the singer's passing. He criticized delays in Mohbad's burial and accused those around him of distorting the truth, while acknowledging mistakes in their business dealings. Now, he maintained there was no ill intent between them and stated his belief that time would reveal everything soon. Now, Naira Marley's statement comes after the court dismissed charges against him, Samilari and Prime Boy, but ruled that the auxiliary nurse who treated Mohbad and his friend Abayomi would face persecution for negligence. Despite his legal clearance, public debate continues, with many still questioning the circumstances surrounding Mohbad's tragic death. So, Felicity, looking at the case, what do you think about it?
Ideally, when the court rules, I mean, it should be some level of innocence proven and end of the matter. But you know how it is that this case has become not only complex, but people, I feel personally, I could be wrong, crave some relevance from the continuing controversy without seeming to resolve the issues, really.
Yeah, well, we're hoping that now that the court has decided to rule this, probably Naira Marley can rest a bit. Well,
let's hope so.
Now, let's talk about something that hit the Hollywood industry. A quite tragic conversation right there, because the Hollywood legend, Gene Hackman, and his wife, Betsy Arakawa, were found partially mummified in their Santa Fe mansion after being missing for 2 weeks. Now, their bodies were discovered by the maintenance workers, with Arakawa in a bathroom near scattered pills and a falling space heater, while Hackman was fully clothed in his mod room. Now, authorities found no sign of forced entry or a gas leak, though one of the couple's dogs was also found dead nearby. Now, the cause of death remains undetermined, though Hackman's daughter speculated carbon monoxide poisoning. With no evidence of foul play, investigators are exploring environmental factors, medical conditions, or accidental causes as they continue their inquiry into the couple's mysterious death. This was quite a shocking one. It hit Hollywood hard as well.
Quite tragic. I grew up watching some of his movies, and you feel an affinity with these people, even though you don't have a physical interaction with them. Yeah, may so rest in peace, and that of his wife as well.
Yes. Well, that's all we have on entertainment tonight as well.
Entertainment news in association with Glow Unlimited.
And that's all the news we have for you tonight. But before we go, a quick reminder of our top stories. The leadership tussle continues in Lagos State House of Assembly as ousted Speaker Mudashiru Obasa storms complex, insisting he remains in charge. Nnamdi Kanu seeks intervention of Chief Justice of Nigeria to reassign his case after recusal of Justice Binta Nyako. U.S. President Donald Trump hosts UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer as they seek end to ongoing war in Ukraine. You can always catch up with all the latest stories by watching News Central live on DSTV channel 422, Star Times channel 274, Avo TV, and on YouTube. Thank you very much for your kind company. Have a good night.